This is Ritesh Srinivasan and welcome to my channel. So can you do data science tasks with ChatGPT, right? So I saw this tweet from Itan Malik. So what he says over here is that I have access to the new GPT code interpreter, the ChatGPT code interpreter. I uploaded an XLS file, no context, right? And asked these questions. Can you do visualization and descriptive analysis to help me understand the data? Can you try regressions and look for patterns? Can you run regression diagnostics? And the results are quite amazing. So will ChatGPT be able to replace a data scientist? Okay. I don't think it's going to replace a data scientist. Maybe it will help improve the productivity of a data scientist. Okay. But then with ChatGPT, it's also possible that anyone with no idea of data science can do some data science tasks and get some results, right? For example, in this particular use case over here, this person has uploaded an XLS file, right, and has asked these questions. So let us look at these images, basically the results, right? And so the first question, which can you conduct whatever visualizations and descriptive analysis you think would help me understand the data, right? Then ChatGPT comes up with a response saying that data appears to contain information about venture capital investments in various metropolitan statistical areas. It identifies what are the columns in the data set, right? And then it says like, okay, I can start by creating some visualization to help us understand better understand the data, right? One is a bar chart showing the top MSAs by the total amount of equity invested, right? Now what does MSA stand for? The metropolitan statistical area where the company is located. So let us look at the top areas, right, by the total amount of equity invested. Another is a scatter plot comparing the average deal value to the average equity per deal for each of these areas. A histogram showing the distribution of the number of deals. Okay. We also provide some descriptive statistics for key columns. Then it says that, okay, there is some issue with a particular column, and then I've done some cleaning of that, and then it comes up with these visualizations, right? Top metropolitan areas by total equity invested. This bar graph is quite good. Average deal value versus average equity per deal by this MSA. Distribution of number of deals by MSA, right? So it was able to do this. So the visualizations was created. This error was there, but then it fixed that error and again generated the statistics, basically descriptive statistics, right? And the visualizations. So this itself provides you with some kind of information, right? First level explorative data analysis on the data set. Then the follow-up question was, can you try a few regression analysis and look for interesting patterns? So then it says that, okay, to do regression I have to first identify which is the dependent variable and which are independent variables. And based on the data, it is actually trying to find some things like regression analysis between total amount of equity invested as a dependent variable and number of deals as independent variable. Okay. Exploring the relationship between average deal value as the dependent variable and average equity per deal as the independent variable. Okay. Regression analysis on average equity per company as the dependent variable and number of companies as independent variable. So it is automatically trying to identify which variables have a kind of, say, dependent versus independent relation, and then trying to do some regression on it, and then it creates scatter plots. Okay, it seems the data has some missing values, so we need to remove or fill in missing values. So it does all these things automatically, and then it comes up with this regression, sum of equity invested versus number of deals, right? It tries to create this regression line, right? So yeah, this is the data and this is the regression line which has been created. It also gives an R squared metric for each of these regressions which it has done, right? And then it explains that regression analysis 1, sum of equity invested versus number of deals. Okay, it shows that positive linear relationship between the total amount of equity invested and the number of deals. R squared value indicates a strong correlation suggesting that a higher number of deals is associated with the higher total equity investment. Okay, average deal value, it again gives that kind of analysis over here, right? So one, it has automatically identified the variables and other things. Then it is trying to create these linear relationships, right? And then can you check to see the effect of any outliers, right? So basically you are going deeper into regression and trying to find out outliers. So it says how you can do this outliers, and then it also finds out some kind of analysis it does over here, and it says that okay, there could be outliers or something like that. Okay, and then it says that okay, let me know if you would like to proceed with sensitivity analysis or if any other analysis that you would like to explore. Okay, and here the author says that can you redo the previous analysis and provide the sensitivity analysis. Yes, do the sensitivity analysis. It says that maybe I don't have access to the file. So again, it says that okay, I can rerun the entire using the provided data. Please let me know if you'd like me to do so. So it suggests that what kind of analysis can be done over here for sensitivity, right? Then it says that okay, I still have access to the uploaded Excel file and I can do some things, and basically it does some sensitivity analysis as well, right? With the R squared original without influential points, things like that it does. So it has actually done a basic task of, if you ask a data scientist given some data and say that okay, you explore this data, a data scientist would have done these steps. So it has been able to do that. Okay, and you can do it much faster over here, right? Instead of you sitting and writing code for each of these steps. Now the question comes is that how accurate is this analysis, right? So what the author says over here is that if you just look at it once, it looks like it has done all the things properly. Okay, but it incorrectly gives two numbers in the text, even though it calculates and reports them in the graphs and analysis correctly, right? So he says that this may improve when fully using GPT-4. So that's the other part of things, right? You do an analysis like this, you cannot blindly believe these results, right? Sometimes you may need to even try this again to see whether these results are accurate or not. But then it gives you a high level idea of how the data looks like, what kind of relationships are there in the data. So this can improve the productivity of a data scientist. At times, if the kind of what you call the analysis is wrong, or it is inaccurate, you might end up duplicating effort also. So you never know whether it is accurate over here. So this accuracy of the results is also important, right? But it can help in improving productivity. Okay, but I'm not sure if the results are accurate for every task, for every kind of data. Whereas if you are a data scientist, you are in control of the code, you are in control of the kind of analysis you are going to do. So you can be sure of your work. Okay, that is one thing. The next thing is regarding data which needs to be uploaded over here. As a large corporate, most of the corporates are concerned with privacy and security of their data. So how is OpenAI going to guarantee privacy and security of data for analysis? So that's the other point, which is quite important for, say, large companies when you are working for large companies, right? So I don't know if ChatGPT is going to replace the data scientist, but I think it will augment the data scientist. It will help in improving productivity. But then everything depends on how accurately it does a lot of these tasks, right? So that is something which you need to try out and find out whether it's useful for you. So this was a short video on ChatGPT, showing data scientists' capabilities with Code Interpreter. So Code Interpreter is a plugin which provides ChatGPT with a Python interpreter. Okay, so basically your text prompts are converted into a Python program and it runs within a Python interpreter, a sandboxed firewalled execution environment with some disk space, and based on that the results are generated. I hope you like this video. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. See you in another video.